Well, good morning everybody, and it is a Saturday morning, mid-July, and it's not Sunday because I got stuff going on tomorrow. And you know me, if I don't have coffee with you, then I start going through withdrawals or something, and all the guilty feelings. So I thought I'm going to sit down and have coffee with you today because it's a very quiet household. My husband's working out today, and my son is over at his father's helping him because I'm sure, just like all the other parts of the country, everybody got hit with really some bad storms, and we did. Oh Lordy, did we. It was 4th of July weekend, and I think, as far as I can remember, it was the best weathered 4th of July weekend that we've had in ages. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday were beautiful. Beautiful days, lovely weather. Up until, was it Monday night or Tuesday? It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday when all the storms came through. So anyway, beautiful weather, high 70s to, I'd say, mid 80s. Beautiful, all festivities and picnics and campfires and lake parades and everything. So it was a great weekend. And then the storms came through. And we had, in our area in west central Wisconsin, we had bad straight line winds. And if you looked at my, did I put on my Instagram and my Facebook page? I did a little mini video. Of course I'm standing outside when the storm's gone on. That wasn't really smart, but we're so used to them in the summer, I guess, that we don't think anything of them. You know, if I would have seen a cow flying by, then I probably would have hit the basement. So, bad storms, everything from straight line winds, that's what we got hit here, and I think they said the wind gusts were anywhere from 60 to 80 miles, and I believe it. If we went out our front door, the wind was coming at that way. If you went out our back door, so the wind was coming from different directions. It was just crazy. It was just, and it was so sad because I look across the road and it's cornfields, and it was just laying down flat. It looked like somebody came with a pressure hose and was just shooting everything down, and we were kind of watching our yard and stuff because unfortunately we're at the very top of a hill, and if we get straight line winds we always lose trees. Yep, and we did. We lost a big pine tree, but the pine tree that we lost was one that we had lost branches off it 2 years ago or a year ago when we got stuck with storms. So I mean, it wasn't in the best shape. I mean, it would have been probably fine. It would kind of like patched and healed itself and whatnot, but so that went down. That we lost a limb off an apple tree, and then a whole bunch of little twigs and whatnot, but not really bad. But some people, tornadoes went through, and the straight line wind, you know, I think it took out one barn in Pierce County, Wisconsin that I heard of. Otherwise, it was lots and lots of trees. And Nugget Park, which is kind of by our place, about 15 miles, 15, maybe 25. Somewhere in there, but a county park got hit really hard and lost lots and lots of trees, which was really sad. So some people were out of power for 1 hour, some people were out for a day or more. Not in this area. I think everybody got all their power back within 8 hours, but up in the cities and stuff, I think some people were out longer than that, which is kind of a bummer. And I was so busy looking at the storm. Usually when storm stuff starts coming, you know, you're going to lose electricity, so you're going to lose water, so, you know, you've got to think of your bathroom facilities. And usually it will get buckets and buckets of water so you can use the toilet, and then just flush it with a bucket of water. But I didn't think of that. And good thing the water was out, or the electricity was out for 1 hour. Otherwise, oh Lord. And I'll have my potty buckets, and I'll have washing up buckets so we can clean up and wash up if you don't have electricity when you have to go to work the next morning. But we had it in an hour. All was good. It was okay. Everybody's doing cleanup. So I was saying, my son Seth went down to his father's house, and I believe that Seth said his dad lost like 10 trees, a whole line of big old pine trees and some maple trees, which was really sad. So they'll be doing a lot of cutting up and sawing and piling wood, and then people that burn wood will come and get it. They'll take it down to his grandpa's, and he burns wood. As for our pine tree, we wouldn't take it up north because in this area you're not supposed to take any wood that is not from that area to another area to cut down on any type of tree disease, and you don't want to carry it county to county. Let's say one county has a problem with some type of disease in that tree, and if you cut wood and then carry it to another county, you could be spreading that disease that tree may have to another county. So if you are going up north in our area, you're supposed to only get campfire wood from that area, burn it in that area. So we would never cut anything here and take it up north because you don't want to spread any type of disease. So the tree that went down in ours was a pine tree, big old pine tree, and I bet you it was planted, I know it was planted when the house was built So in the mid 70s sometimes, so it was a big old pine. And I went down and I was trying to pick up some stuff. I forgot how pitchy pine trees are. We had pine trees growing up in Rock Elm, and they were all over our car. Oh, it was just a mess. And those pine trees in Rock Elm were like ginormous pine trees that had been there for like 100 years and stuff. So they were old pitchy trees, and this one was young. It had tons and tons of pine cones on it. It was just one big old... My husband goes, "I supposed to get this out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we could clean it up. But do you want to clean it up? Because it's such a mess." And he found some guy who said, "Hey, I'll come up and cut it up, take it away." Because he goes, "I'll use it on my campfire," and that, which is only like 10 miles away. So that is legal and okay and healthy for the trees. So he's going to come and clean. Oh, I was just like, oh, I just couldn't even imagine. Because any gloves or anything that you wear, you can't get pitch out. You can get it out with like gasoline or turpentine. Oh, Lord. I'm having memories of my youth. We'd walk barefoot in the yard, and you get pitch all over your feet, and the needles would stick to your, and then Mom would be going, scrubbing your feet, and we'd get the old lava soap out trying to get the pitch off. Our feet usually just look pretty bad most of the summer. But anyway, so everybody's doing cleanup right now because all those storms came through just earlier this week that we're in now. So anywho, what else is going on? Well, you know, every weekend I was busy with something. The camper rally was awesome. And remember, I was like so hopeful because of the weather looked it was going to be so wonderful, and well, guess what? It wasn't wonderful. It was hot, unbelievably humid, and just miserable. Usually when we do like little things or host little camper things, you know, we always dress up and we like to wear our 60s / early 70s double knit polyester wear when we had the camper, because we like to keep traditional to the camper. Wasn't happening. I had wet set my hair, and it was like almost evening, and it was I even walked around without a scarf on, which I usually never do. There's even a picture of me. I felt like kind of like naked with my curlers all out. But anyway, it wasn't even drying. So then I took them out right before, and I'm like, okay, I think they're pretty. That was just a big waste of time wet setting it, because the curls just went. And when we got ready in our camper, which was one of the rarities of the camper rally, did not have any type of cooling or AC, or, and I didn't bring a fan. You know, I brought I have my little vintage fan, which is, you know, it doesn't blow out hardly anything. And I will snitch, and I got a great big vintage fan, but I have to have it rewired and stuff, and I haven't got to that. But with the heat being it was, I should have brought another fan just to circulate there, because it was miserable just being in the camper. So you couldn't get fixed up, and you'd go take a shower, and you felt just as sticky wet after the shower, and so it was just it wasn't a pretty girls' weekend for us whatsoever. And I liked it, you know, when you're going out and especially when you're hosting, I wanted to look nice. Oh. Which I didn't, and Christy didn't either, and her hair wasn't fixed. So what we did was, it was kind of, I don't know, you could call it lazy, but we were just going for comfort, man. I'll tell you. We were just going to go to be cool. We wore house dresses all weekend long. Got up. I think Christy put a little like scooter skirt, like it was made out of a cotton material that she wore, but I didn't have anything like that, or anything that it could fit into, I'll say that. So we just wore house dresses the whole entire weekend. Gave up on the hair, put Brits in it, or put it back, because it was flat. Our hair was just flat and straight and just a big old sweaty mess. Because if we would have had maybe AC, we could have got it maybe, but it probably would have fallen, because it was bad that. So we don't have a fancy awning on our camper, but we do have one of those fold out canopies. So we had that out, and it was same color as my camper, so it wasn't vintage. And we had to get out of the heat. If we wouldn't have had that, oh Lord, I don't even know what we would have done. It would have been miserable. So anyway, next year maybe it'll be better, and we are getting a portable AC unit for that little vintage camper, even though my husband goes, well, we only take it out 3 times a year. So I'm like, yep, and the last 3 times that we've taken it out, it has been horrendously hot, and I can deal with the heat, except you need to sleep, and you don't like to just lay there and just like sweat and be miserable. And I said, yeah, I know, but all these other little vintage campers, I think there's maybe one other one that didn't, all had portable AC units in it. Some of them had the AC unit where they you know, take out a window and they put it in. One lady had it all plastered in there, and she wasn't going to go anyway, but I don't want to take away from the aesthetic of my camper, because it's all vintage. So they have these little units, and it looks like a little I don't know, it's probably 3 feet tall by maybe 1.5 feet, you know, it's not really big. And you just set them in the middle of it, and then you have to vent it outside. So what we're gonna do is, even though the camper we have has the original furnace in it, I made the executive decision, because our camper isn't one of those, like if we ever did get rid of it someday, that it's like, oh, a beautiful Shasta with birchwood paneling. Ours was like the bottom of the low budget family model camper. It has full paper paneling in it, and you know, but it is all original. So we're going to take the furnace out, which is never going to be, it's a huge furnace. You could like heat a house with this furnace. So we're going to take the furnace out, and then that will leave us a large opening that we can put the AC unit in, and there's already vent because of the furnace outside. So we would be able to put it in there during the day so nobody could see it. It'll be hidden, and it has a furnace panel in front of it so nobody would know. And then when it's miserable and we want to sleep at night, we could set it outside. So the purchases we're looking for a little vintage are, we're going to get a portable AC unit. Looking forward to that. Take it to Mississippi Mayhem in September. But I think it's going to be boondocking, which means you ain't got no electricity, you ain't got no water, so you got to be self-contained. So I don't know how that's going to roll. But that time of the year, September, I shouldn't say that. It probably won't be hot, but better not jinx myself. I guess we'll just lay there and be miserable. Have a few more cocktails, and we'll just sleep heavily that way. So anyway, that, and then we're going to get an awning, because I was thinking, oh, I can't get an awning for my camper because it didn't look like, well, I looked at these other vintage campers that were there, and well, sure shooting, I didn't even realize it, that my camper has like the awning rail, and you can buy them, and they're like $250. I'll just get a real simple one, and it runs through that little railing that's the top of your camper, and then you put 2 little posts, so then we'll have one that matches, which will be nice. So I'm hopefully going to get that before this fall, before we go to Mississippi Mayhem. I'm waiting to hear back about, because she said, yep, you're all okay, but I got to figure out how to pay for it or reserve the spot. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from, oh, what's her name? Franny Freckles, I think is her name, or something like that, from Mississippi Mayhem. I'm waiting to hear back from her about payment and stuff, so I can just lock it down. But we're approved to go. So those are the things we're going to do with the vintage camper. Anyway, the camp rally was great. Sorry. We had 10 campers that showed up total, 8 from our Minnesota glamping and camping group, and then 2 ones that just saw the flyer, and they didn't realize that this group was there, so they didn't know about all the festivities and whatnot that I had planned, so it kind of filled them in, and then they ended up coming back from the rally and sign up. So we had the little meet and greet, little light dinner, turned out very nice, and got to meet everybody, and everybody kind of dwindled in at different times, which I thought they would, so they came over and ate and as they wanted, so that was a great night. And then we had Bloody Mary bar on Saturday morning, and then I got all the videos on my YouTube, on this channel, when we talked about, like, it's something else, it's a different entity. I got all the stuff from the camper rally and the car show and all that posted on videos, and I think they might be under my vintage glamping and camping playlist or something. But anywho, so that, and then we had the show day, and I was like, and the thing is, you think, oh, but my battery just died, so I just swapped out. And luckily, usually I don't, but my backup battery was charged, because I usually go get that, and that's dead. So anyway, you sit out there 4 hours, and you think, oh, you're just sitting around, but it was so hot and humid. And the thing is, when you're sitting for those rallies, you're visiting and talking and with everybody, and even though you wouldn't think it's a tiring day, but it is. It's kind of a tiring day. So then, good turnout for that. Lots of people came through, and then the Hay Creek Saloon and Campground had a contest for the vintage campers, and then they had voting and all that type of stuff. And then some really cute campers won the prizes. And then that night, I gave everybody enough time. That ended at 4. So then you do breakdown where you put all, because when you show a camper, you usually have display stuff where you'll have like vintage things sitting out, and you know, your little fancy things that you wouldn't have normally when you're out and about in your camper, but it's for show days so everybody can see them. So everybody kind of broke down their campers, and then at, oh Lord, let me think, what time did that start? 6:30, I think, or 7 o'clock, we started the progressive cocktail party, which was so fun, unbelievably fun. I just loved it. So you go camper to camper, and you can have a cocktail or a Jello shot, or somebody made vodka soakworms, which were good and delicious. And then, or you can have punch, or you don't even have to participate if you want. And it doesn't have to be alcoholic. drink. It can be soda or whatever. It doesn't matter. And you can have a snack or not have a snack. So we did that, and we had, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stops, which was plenty because you go to each spot, partake and visit, and everybody enjoys everything, or you share your recipe for yourself. There's some really yummy stuff. And then you go about 20 minutes to each spot. So I did kind of a little mini vlog. I forgot to do it, and then I started it, and then because you want to enjoy the cocktail party too. So by the end, I was full of cocktails. But anyway, so was everybody else. So our place was the last place, and we had made lemon drop martinis, Harvey Wallbangers, tequila sunrises, but not just like, everybody usually has sample sizes or small. No, we had, because I felt we needed to have the full thing, and we had a great big bunch of food, and I overmade. It all got done though, because after us vintage people, Hay Creek people started to show up, and they kind of infused throughout the weekend, which was fun, and they got to meet the vintage camper people, and it isn't so segregated that it's just us, go away. But I will be better prepared because we did the Bloody Mary bar, and I was just thinking, the vintage camper people, maybe a couple others. Well, we had the vintage camper people, and we only had it for an hour, and then I counted 25 other Hay Creekers there, which was fine, and we did not mind it. It was basically everybody commingled together, but I didn't have enough stuff. I ran out of, and I had a lot of stuff, but I ran out. So next year I will be prepared. I realize we'll have our group, plus there'll probably some more, and then the Hay Creek people, because I don't like running out of stuff. But that was, the whole weekend was great, and then after the vintage cocktail, everybody kind of hung and stopped back at other people's sites and maybe had a little more snackies or whatever, and then they had a band on the ball field that was called Generation, which is country music, newer and older, and they were really good, so we all kind of listened to the band. It was a great night. And then we had, after everybody kind of started to, we kind of cleaned up everything that night, because there's nothing worse to wake up to a mess in the morning. So we cleaned most of it up that night, and all the dirty dishes I decided just to put in a great big huge Tupperware tub, locked her all up there, shut it up so no bugs would get in there, and then we just brought it home, threw it in the dishwasher, which was nice, because you're trying to, because we don't have running water in our camper either. We could, but we just don't mess with putting it in the tank and putting the air in the pressure tank so we can have it running. So we just get it from the spigot, wash up as we need inside in the dishes and stuff, and then so we came home, threw it in the dishwasher. Best idea I've ever had. I thought I will do that again, because we're so close anyway. Even if I wasn't close, it's still a good idea. Put them in the dishwasher, put them right back in the camper, and I was smart because it cooled down, of course, the day after the camper rally, and I had off, so I cleaned my whole camper out, put everything away, did all the, because I am a procrastinator and I hate doing that type of stuff. So I got it all done. I was so proud of myself. Got it all done. It was all finished. So anyway, camper rally was great. The sites we had weren't the best, but I went a couple weeks before the camper rally, reserved a whole huge section for 15 campers, because if we had 10 this year, we'll probably have 15 next year, and then probably we'll max out at 20. I'm thinking we'll see if we get the 15, and then that's the way it is at camper rallies. There's only X amount of spots, because the campgrounds want to leave it open for their other people also, so we will probably max out at 20 vintage campers if we get up to that. 10 was perfect. 15 will be great. We're looking forward to, because there's like maybe 5 off the camper glamper page that said they wanted to come but it didn't work, so hopefully they can come next year. So we're all ready to roll for next year. Sites are already reserved, so that's ready to go. So camper rally weekend was a hit. Everything went well. Hopefully the weather will be nicer, but we'll be prepared, and I'll have our AC next year. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be miserable. I don't care if it's one day. So anyway, that went great, and then the next weekend was our birthday weekend with all our family members and all that, and I hit the 45th parallel, and I usually will drive up, and I'll take, everybody will partake, but my nephew goes, it's your birthday, I'll drive. I'm like, awesome. So yep, I had way too much hard liquor at the 45th parallel, but I still made it till midnight, so that was good. Oh Lord, but it's all hard liquor. It's not like mixed drinks or even hard liquor mixed with something. It's just straight old booze, and since he was driving, he would like taste it and then dump it in my glass, and then I drank it, and oh Lord. I came out of there buying lots of liquor. That's what I do when I get cocktails. If I really like it, I'm like, I will buy that and that and that. It was a fun time. So we did that, and then we went up to a couple wineries the next day, and it was another hot, steamy day that day, but it was such a hard, heavy wind that it kept you cooled off enough, even though it was sweltering. If you weren't in the wind, it was miserable. But it was lovely. So, and then the next weekend, it was 4th of July weekend, and it was lovely weather, and just good to hang out with family and have some good cookouts and sit around and visit. And since I had been so busy and so running around doing so many things, I decided to stay campground bound. I said, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to go do anything. I'm not going to go tour anything. I'm not going to go look at anything. I just want to hang. I like take 8 million walks when I'm up there. I like to hang by the campfire, go down by the water, sit on the dock. And then some of the family members were getting a little bit antsy and want to go do something. I'm like, go ahead. You may go off. I will not feel hurt. You can do anything you want. You're up here. Everybody's got free will, right? So I just stayed behind, and it was just lovely to sit, and I just love sitting outside. Or I've got a old aluminum lounger that you can lay on, and it's got the old thick cushion on it. So I just kind of laid that and just laying there, and I'm enjoying the beautiful weather and the light breeze and listening to all the birds, or even like listening to everybody with their activities or whatnot. In the background is fun. And then on Sunday they had the boat parade, kind of a boat parade, because you know we have done it, and I decided I'm going to sit and enjoy the boat parade. Well, it was not a boat parade. There was probably 10 or 12 maybe. There's about, I didn't count them. I did a video on that too, right? But I didn't count them. But they didn't do it. It used to be that there would be different ones that were decorated different, or even if you just had some 4th of July stuff, it didn't need to be decorated. They would go around the whole lake, you know, like a parade. This was just a big cluster of people that were having balloon and water fights and throwing stuff all over, and they weren't even like in a nice parade route type. They kind of congregated and moved and fought, and it was fun to watch them. And they had great big power water guns and water balloon shooters, they're called, some whoosh, and a great big band. And they'd shoot on people on the shore too and stuff, and it was fun. Everybody had a good time, and it was fun, but it was no parade. So I was so glad that I did not take the time decorating our pontoon. Not our pontoon, or Brother Dean's pontoon. They'll say it's ours. And and going around the whole lake. But he's always nice, and he goes, yeah, you know, just put a little gas in it, and you guys can take it around the lake, and don't ever return something empty on gas. That is not good. But we didn't do it anyway. But I had all of this, and we usually, from our pontoon, I will throw little bags of whatever out. Candy or toys or makeup for the girls, or what you know, all kinds of stuff that I stock up on. And then beer, because my husband's establishment sponsors our float. We have a great big thing. It says the Woodshed, Hickory City, Happy 4th of July on it. Great big huge banner that I think Budweiser made for us. And then of course I got my Vintage Camper Gal banner, just a little teeny one with a picture of me and Christy in red, white, and blue stuff. And then we put, you know, like the typical decorations on it. But anyway, I'm glad I did not do that. So all this stuff that I had, because I didn't make up my mind until that day if I was going to do it or not. Dean says it doesn't matter, you know, we'll be back in from fishing, because we're not going to be fishing out in the lake on the pontoon. So he said, if you want to use my pontoon, we'll be back in time for you to decorate and stuff. And I just said, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm glad I didn't, because there was no parade to speak of. So all these little goodies, all the kids that were in the campground and around the area, I just went out and handed out stuff. And I had like, well, I had like Mott's applesauce too, and some Play-Doh and some stuff like that. So just fun little things, because there wasn't any parade for the kids. And I think maybe they're kind of disappointed, because they expect a little something, or like a little bit of a show, but it wasn't. It was just a big cluster water fight of balloons and guns. But that's all right. It is what it is. So that was that weekend, and then here we are on this weekend, and I was going to get over to my father-in-law's farm and start doing some stuff on the camper, but I decided to stay home. It's a beautiful day. Open the house, wash some windows, clean out my vintage bedroom because it's a big mess again, just for the fact of the last 4 weekends that we've been so busy. I'll make an excuse. That it's just gotten to be a pile of stuff. All my stuff is cleaned and washed and stuff, but it's just not put away. And I think some of it's just not put away for the fact that I have nowhere to put it. So I need to reorganize and start bins and boxes of this is going here, this is going there. And I always have it in my mind that I'm going to have a little, they have like a flea market down in my husband's establishment on Sundays. And I'm not going to set up a table. I'm not going to open a shop. That's just not the way I am. I will box it up. We have a local garage sale thing where you can take pictures of it and put it on Facebook, a Facebook garage sale group I think it is, and I've seen stuff and I haven't done it, but I thought maybe I'll take a picture of all these vintage clothes that I don't want, and then whatever somebody offers me, you know, because I think if they're interested enough, they would like some vintage clothes for whatever reason. Maybe it's Halloween, maybe it's they're into vintage stuff, I want to get into it. I guess it really wouldn't matter what I got for it, as long as it went to somebody who wanted it and appreciated it. I'm not out to make a buck on it. I don't care about that type of stuff. I do it because I love it, and if it can go to somebody else who loves it, I think that may be a good venue for me to do it, is post in this Facebook group. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I should do it. Stop talking. Stop talking about it. So we're doing coffee today because tomorrow, I'll see if I can remember what it is, in Hudson, Wisconsin, which is on the St. Croix River. We're closer to the Mississippi River. That's only maybe, I don't know, 7 miles away from my house. So we do a lot of stuff down there on the Mississippi, you know, hang out and go to the river towns on that side. But Hudson's and St. Croix, and they have that, and if I can remember, it's the Columbus ships, and I think it's the Nina and the Pinta, not the Santa Maria. The replicas, I think scaled down models. I don't think they're full-size models. But they're big. They're big mini ships of the Nina and Pinta, and they're having displayed on the water. And they had pictures of them coming down the St. Croix. What a thing to see! So they have those replicas wherever they came from. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there tomorrow. Of the Nina and the Pinta, and I think you can go on them and look at them. But that would be really. So we're gonna go see that. I've never even heard such a thing. That's what I like about Facebook. Somebody posted that they went, and here's the pictures, and this is what it is, and then you find the link, and then, so we're going to do that. Go see the Nina and Pinta. So tonight I'll be Googling to do my little history refresher, you know, because I like to go see things like that. I want to, you know, refresh my history mind. And when's the last time you thought about the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria? I don't know, a long time. So I'm going to refresh my history, and then just fill my husband in the years and dates and all that type of stuff. But it'll be neat to see exact replicas of them. That'd be really cool. And they're such a huge size. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what scaled down size they are from the original, because I'm sure the originals were horrendously huge, because, you know, they're doing some trekking across the Atlantic, where these are just going up and down the river. So we're doing that tomorrow. So that's all that's going on. I'm going to start getting rolling with my new camper that's parked, as I was saying, and I decided, because, you know, couldn't have a vintage one up there, and it had to be a certain thing, but I just don't like the aesthetic of the camper, because it's 99, but it reminds me of the styles of the 80s, that blue and mauve, and I always liked the greens and burgundies back in the day, but I just never liked, and I love blue, and I love mauve, I just didn't like them for a household, I guess. So I'm taking all of the window cornices off, and what they are in the campers, you know, they'll have blinds, and then I think my puppy's trying to escape. She wanted to come here, but now she wants to leave. But they're a hard structure that's around your windows. The top, it's a valance, and they go down, but they're hard board. And then you have your blinds, and I suppose they're there to kind of protect the blinds. So anyway, my project is I'm taking them all off and then replacing them with cafe curtain rods, and then putting up, because I have quite a few that I have up in my camper now, and then I just bought some more that I found. Some vintage curtains. So my back bedroom, I'm going to vintage out. I got some cute little poodle curtains that I hope will work, and take all those cornices off. I'll leave the blinds on, unless they really bother me. They'll come off too. And then put my vintage curtains just to give it that vintage feel. I'm not going to be able to vintage it out, but it's going to be decorated vintage with my vintage curtains. And then since the carpet is that blue, and the carpet's a dark blue, not a denim blue, which is good because I can live with that. I'm going to decorate my back bedroom vintage with my poodle curtains, and then I'm looking for a chenille, and I got some that I'm bidding on eBay. Oh, I haven't bid, I'm watching them on eBay. Seeing if they go for a reasonable price, so I can have a chenille bedspread, because I just think that totally mid-century is any room that you have, you put a chenille bedspread on it. Won't do a quilt, because I don't want the heavy quilt up there, and chenille bedspreads are just easier to wash, and quilts you don't usually ever wash those, or you spot clean them, or you have to get them dry clean because they're so big. And if I wash something too heavy in my washer, I don't know about yours, but mine gets all off. Probably need a new washer, but so I'm getting a chenille bedspread so I can wash it more readily, because up north you wash things a little bit more, just for the fact that sometimes your go fishing and evenly take a shower. Well, that's right, I'll have a real shower, not like the one I got right now, which is a shower, and it's doable. But anyway, so that, and then I have my vintage curtains that I have right now up there that are farm, and they're like blue and red, which will go with the carpet up there. And it's like roosters and cows and a whole bunch of vintage stuff I found. I'm thinking, I'm just going by my memory from my ones up to the lake. I found enough so I can finish the kitchen and the 2 dinette type windows. So then they'll be in that type of old vintagey feel. And then I'll get a vintage tablecloth and put it on. Then I'm going to do a reupholster of the reupholstering of the dinette. The couch, I'm not skilled enough to reupholster that, so I'm just going to get some type of covering to refresh it, because it's a futon-y, foley down weird couch that I don't think I could recover it. I was going to take it out, but it's kind of built in, so she will just get cleaned and sterilized and Lysoled, and then have a nice covering of whatever. And then the boys' room I'm going to do in modern stuff, because my boys don't like all this vintagey stuff. They finally are used to it with their mother, and they're always talking about, oh, mother's, because this our room that we have coffee in all the time used to be my son's room, and he moved out many years ago, and then I kind of kept it with all of his stuff. And I think mothers do that for, like, I don't know, 3 years. I'm like, he isn't going to come back and live here ever, unless it's to stay for a visit or maybe a short period of time. So I turned it and got my husband's mid-century bedroom furniture that he had, and some of my furniture, like my vanity here, that my grandfather had made back in the 50s. And so that's where all my vintage stuff comes now, is all in this vintage bedroom. So it's all mid-century, or stuff from my family that was mid-century, or my husband. So it's kind of neat. So anywho, where did I get off on my tangent with that? So their bedroom up north, the room that they'll be staying in, because it's a bunkhouse, I will put with like woodland stuff. I will go to Shopko or Pomade, or get it off online and get, like, you know, fishing type of themed or whatever. So it's not, because they don't like this. I don't blame them. Not everybody likes this stuff. I love it. So their bedroom will be all done in up north cabin type feel stuff, because that has a door, so it's kind of separate, so I can have my vintage feel in the whole rest of the place in the bathroom. And the bathroom is going to be mermaid theme. I found this really neat what the heck is it called, shower curtain, and it's like that cloth, you know, that water repellent cloth, but it has it looks like a vintage, it looks like it is. It's a vintage mermaid, and it's done in blues and beiges and stuff. So then I decided to do my bathroom like mermaid, vintage mermaid. That would be kind of cool. And do it that way. I'm going to have like little themes in different sections of the house, because I can do it. It's my camper. So that's what's going on. Not doing anything for the whole rest of the month. Me and my husband are going to go up to the lake place towards the end of the month. He's got one weekend that he can go up there, which will be great. And then we'll be into August. I don't usually go up north except for 4th of July weekends, and then usually two weekends in July, 2 in August, and then more in September. I'll be down. I usually try to get to my lake place 10 to 12 times, and if I do, I feel like, okay, that's sufficient, because, you know, you're just busy with everything else, and it's great to go up there, but you want to do other stuff too. So we'll be going up there, and that's what we'll be doing. So I will be able to have coffee, and I am going to say it because we're not doing anything for a couple weekends. So I just wanted to catch you up on everything that's going on with me. What has been going on with you? I haven't heard a peep from anybody about what's going on or what they're doing from any of you guys, so I don't know. So please comment below and tell me what's going on with you guys. Got any fun trips? Or I know some of the gals, like JL and Yolanda, I'll go on their Facebook page, because, you know, Yolanda's Vintage Kitten on YouTube, and Modern Retro Gal is JL, and A Vintage Vanity. So I'll go on to their Facebook pages, and then you can kind of catch up with what they're doing that way, or with mine. But many of you do not have some YouTube channel that you go off or whatever. So, and some of you have Facebook friended me, which is kind of nice, because then I can see what's going on with you, and we kind of communicate outside of this YouTube land of ours and stuff. My Vintage Camper Gal Facebook page, Instagram stuff is more based on my vintagey stuff, whereas my regular Mary Facebook page is more family, and I guess I kind of separate them or segregate them into different things. And once in a while they'll cross. Sometimes I'll put this on that and that on this. But so anyway, that's that. We're all caught up. I hope everybody's having a great summer and enjoying the weather and stuff. The weather's been nice. We've been getting some rain, and the corn's across the field here that was whoosh, for me is coming back, so that's really nice to see that the farmers didn't lose the crop. Some of the oat crops were lost because that's a little bit more delicate. The corn's pretty hardy. So and we'll be having sweet corn. The sweet corn, there are some in the store that came up from Georgia, but we want the fresh sweet corn right out of the garden. And my little mini garden. You thought I was done talking, didn't you? So did I. My little mini garden, because in the walkway into my house, I told you I decided to plant vegetables in there. So I have 3 different types of tomatoes, 2 different types of peppers, and I don't have any flowers planted. I got some marigolds on the end. But it's doing great. Weathered the storm. I got to get some more sticks because they're getting so weighted down with the tomatoes and stuff. Oh, and I just love, even it's green tomatoes. Just to smell those green tomatoes, I just love it. And I got to stick them up because I don't want to lose any of the, and when they all come in, we're going to be eating fresh tomatoes right out of my flower garden, right outside the front door. I love it. So you guys take care until we have coffee again, which will be, it won't be that long. It will be next weekend, I'm thinking. So I'm hoping to get in another coffee with you guys before the end of July, and I think I will pull it off. Because I said I'm gonna. So everybody take care. Have a fun July till we have coffee again. Stay in contact. And then, like I said, I got all my little videos from all the stuff that I've been doing on this channel, Vintage Camper Gal. Take care. Till next time. Bye.